Let's move on to some other hydration myths. Okay, I've heard that if you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
This one is like, yes and no, kind of depends on who you are. Tamara says that our body is constantly, sampling our blood and that our thirst kicks in after we lose about 2% of our fluids, which is totally fine for most people. You get thirsty, you drink water, you're good to go. But if you are, say, an elite athlete or a fighter jet pilot or something that requires intense concentration, there is some research that's found that mild dehydration is enough to keep you from your peak game.
When you got to this 2% level of water loss, you did see some impact on what we call executive function, higher order judgment and thinking, and also sustained attention, the ability to continue to be vigilant and focus on a task, even if it's very boring.
This is Mindy Millard Stafford. She's the director of the Exercise Physiology Laboratory at Georgia Tech, and she looked into this mild dehydration, which she says is also linked to things like worsened mood and lower alertness.
And it didn't really matter if that dehydration was due to exercise, sweat-induced loss, whether people were just not drinking enough, or if they were in a passive heating situation. That was not related to exercise.
That is to say, sitting around in the hot sun.
That's my favorite water loss situation.
So, but you might ask, what is 2% dehydration? So, for me, I weigh 170 pounds. So that for me is 3.5 pounds of water loss, which I thought was huge, but Mindy said that you can lose 2 pounds an hour if you're being super active.
So if you're heading into a sports, sun, or I guess a sauna situation, it might be a good idea to drink before you get thirsty. Just might make everything a little more comfortable and clear.
Yes. So our takeaway number 4 is you might want to, quote unquote, pre-hydrate or have that glass of water in advance if you're about to go into a test or a race or somewhere where you need to really have a lot of mental focus. But most of the time in our day-to-day life, drinking to thirst is just fine.